Well, it's that time again.
Hey, my turn.
What? What are you doing here?
My turn.
No. You had your turn last week, Cadejo. It's my turn.
You really don't understand. You've done about, 3 or 4 creepypastas since my last, Cadejo's night out. It's my turn.
I'm not in the mood to do something funny.
Well, I'm not in the mood to do something funny. How about that? I have an actual creepypasta this time.
Really?
Yep.
When I was a boy, my father was probably the meanest drunk. He would come home at night laughing his ass off as he hit me and my mother. Part of me hated my father, but he was still a good man. When he wasn't drunk, he was the best. He was a hard worker and managed to make a decent living. At the time, that was hard to come by for most families in Salvador. One night, my father didn't come home. The owner of the tavern he usually goes to came to our house. He tells us that our father went to the forest beside our town and will probably never come back. I asked him why, as him and my mother had such sad faces on. He never gave me an answer, and went home. I snuck out and went to search for my father. I've been through the forest hundreds of times, and I knew it like the back of my own hand. Eventually, I found him passed over a fallen tree. I managed to wake him and guide him back to town. Before I made it to the end of the forest, I was stopped by a terrible chill up my spine. As I looked up, I saw a black dog with glowing red eyes. It slowly walked up to me. I heard chains rattle behind him. In a low, husky voice, the dog cried out,
What are you doing with him, boy?
I froze for a moment before I gathered my courage to speak. I'm taking my father back home. He wandered into this forest by accident, beast.
He is my prize. There is no taking him. His fate is set. Why would you save such a useless father?
Anger filled my heart. It fought back my fears, because he's a good man and I love my father. With my fears aside, I stepped forward to the beast. He took a step back. I took another step, and he disappeared. I started running at this point. When I reached the end of the forest, I looked back. I saw a white dog this time. He wagged his tail at me, turned around, and walked away. We went home. My father promised to stop drinking at this point. I asked him about the dog, and he simply replied, Cadejo. I asked what the white dog was. He said once again, Cadejo. I asked him what the Cadejo was. He replied, the reason you don't drink.